Hello, in the second part of playthrough from Tourist Trophy. Today it's gonna be just a set of the various challenges we have in this game, just like with driving missions in Gran Turismo 4. However, this is something different because we have a set of specific challenges for pretenders, basic drivers, novices, experts, and elites who had a chance to pass the super license exams. And as you can see, this is a very interesting one because everything that we can do over here is just pass an opponent or pass a time trial. Thanks to that we can unlock specific motorbike, because in Tourist Trophy we don't have any currency. It's not the same type of a game like, for example, Gran Turismo 3 and 4. This is something like a little spin-off. So during this introduction, I passed first challenge for pretenders, as I call it, because we don't need any license exams passed to unlock a few bikes. I remember there were 7 bikes, mostly street ones, with optional exhaust upgrade. However, I might be mistaken. I don't actually remember all of those racing modifications just now. Second challenge is with Yamaha TV, the double 225, and this is not a very fast bike, but it doesn't change the fact that on Touring Mini I can easily pass an opponent even before first lap finishes. As you can see, this is a bit tricky, just like with this Honda VTR, because what I need to do is properly drive through those sections, those corners, to pass an opponent without any problems, so that I can win and unlock another motorbike. And that's actually a simple task if you know how to drive in this game, because it's not the same concept as with Gran Turismo 4. This particular game is a bit more difficult because, you know, physics, all of that stuff. So I got a second bike, Yamaha TW225E from 2005, street bike with optional exhaust upgrade again. So it's time to unlock the next motorbike. This time is a cross bike, as I can call it. Kawasaki D-Tracker. Looks like a typical motocross, and that means I would have a chance, if not for physics in this game, to, for example, try out this Kawasaki D-Tracker on Grand Canyon or Tahiti Maze, but sadly we don't have a chance to try out those motorbikes on dirt or snow tracks, because that was not the concept with Tourist Trophy. But yeah, that's how I got another motorbike. This time it was a Kawasaki. And also, because this is a street bike, I got probably also an optional exhaust upgrade. Yes, so it's time to take another bike, first spin. Okay, the next scooter motorbike we can afford is Suzuki Skywave 250 Type S. This is just a scooter equipped with 250cc engine, but it doesn't change the fact that this is a scooter, just a fast one. Simple trick over here is again use the out and out type of cornering, taking corners. So I can easily take out an opponent in 40 seconds, I think. You know, the important thing over here is just drive fast enough so you can drive over here, take this corner, don't overshoot it. Was a tricky one. And after 10 seconds I passed this challenge and afford a new bike to my collection. 48 seconds. It's not so bad. I might obviously make it better, but who cares? I got a street bike, another street bike to my collection. So let's see. what do we have here? Suzuki Skywave 250 Type S, Candy Grand Blue, another street bike that comes with an optional exhaust upgrade. Great! So now we have another version of Suzuki Skywave 250. This time is double S or just SS. Another Suzuki Skywave 250. The challenge would not be so difficult because again, I am driving an all-touring Mini. You know, this is a small track, they thought why not just use it in many challenges in this mode. Honestly, I don't really care about that because, well, I know this track very well and it's not a bad one for trying out those small scooters and street bikes, but it gets kind of repetitive. However, this time I passed this challenge in just 38 seconds, which is great. This time Suzuki Skywave 250 did its job alright, or rather I did my job alright, driving this scooter. So, the next prize I got is Suzuki Skywave 250 SS from 2005. Of course, pearl, never black, because this is my favorite color, and optional exhaust upgrade is there. On the Forza S, another scooter, again a all-touring Mini. Another scooter, this time by Honda Forza S. And this challenge is very easy because our opponent is not so far away. So I can easily just drive over here, drive fast after taking this corner. I would not actually use my brakes at this section. And here it is. After 10 seconds I can afford a new bike. So that's how it's done. 36 seconds and I got a new scooter to my collection. That's just great. Another black scooter to my collection, because why not? I like those. I might as well take it for a spin after passing all those challenges, because we have few events for street bikes, so there is a possibility I might try it out. Again, optional exhaust upgrade, which is great. Let's check out another one for my collection. This time is again Honda Forza, this time Z version, which is possibly the same thing as with Honda Beat. So we have a barely modified version in my opinion, few cosmetic changes, some of that stuff, and this is it. Also, this challenge is very easy because opponent is seriously too close, I might say too close to us. So this challenge can be passed in 25 seconds, at least I had a chance to check it out. And in 25 seconds I passed it. So that's how I got another scooter. Just drive through all-touring Mini and unlock a new street bike scooter. That's just great. You have acquired Honda Forza Z Delta Blue Metallic with an optional exhaust upgrade that can defeat it. Sure, I might as well try it out later on. Now it's time to check out the last scooter we can afford without any license exams passed. Is the Yamaha Grand Majesty 250 from 2005. And again, this challenge is very easy because the opponent is very close, so this challenge could be passed in 30 seconds if I drive properly. As you can see, I'm not the best driver in Tourist Trophy because honestly I do not have such experience with Tourist Trophy as with Gran Turismo. I wasn't even a big fan of MotoGP and none of that stuff many years ago. So yeah, Tourist Trophy is the kind of game right now that for me is like a hidden gem. Okay, so In 10 minutes, I afforded all scooters and slow bikes, street bikes that can be afforded without any license exams. Yamaha Grand Majesty 250 comes with an optional exhaust upgrade, but now I'm moving on to a list of motorbikes that require Novice license. The first one is a fast one because it's a Honda NS 250R, and by saying fast I mean much faster than all those previous street bikes, because despite the fact that it feels like I don't know 40 horsepower, 40 or 50, and also this strange exhaust tips, one near light, second somewhere else, I don't understand it. But yeah, this challenge was fast. In less than 30 seconds I afforded another motorbike to my collection, which is great. Another fast bike to my collection. I suppose fast bike, considering I got Kawasaki D-Tracker earlier. A silver Honda with an optional exhaust upgrade, because this is again a street bike, another street bike to check out. The next vehicle is Yamaha TZR 250 from 85. This is another fast bike, despite having only, as you can see, 250cc. I have a feeling it also has somewhere around 40 horsepower, but it's also a very light bike. Can't say it is actually a pocket bike, but it's a very good vehicle. A street bike to check out, I don't know, to buy, drive to work, all that stuff. Why not? It's a good choice. In just 30 seconds I afforded it again on Touring Mini. Luckily soon I will probably check out another set of tracks, because this is getting very repetitive. Another Honda also, VT250F, and this challenge is simple because while opponent is right now far away from us, it doesn't change the fact that by now you might actually have a good chance to learn the basics of how the physics engine from Gran Turismo 4 works on those motorbikes. So right now, driving those fast bikes shouldn't even be a problem, unless you know, fall off a bike. But despite this, I still won this challenge. That's a nice error, but it's also funny. So I afforded a motorbike with over 30 horsepower, Honda VT 250F from 1982. The next motorbike I can afford is Yamaha TZR 250, but this time is a SPR version. I don't know what SPR means over here. I don't know, possibly a sports version. I don't really care about that. All I care about right now is just taking care of this challenge, which is also a simple one, because again on Touring Mini, all of those corners, I can simply memorize this course right now. And in less than 40 seconds I had a chance to afford another motorbike to my collection, which is great. Again, just another street bike to my collection. However, right now I wish I would have another test track rather than on Touring Mini. Another street bike with optional exhaust upgrade. So what's next? Honda NSR 250 RSE from 1993. Again on Touring Mini. However, this time this challenge would not be so difficult because the only thing I have to do over here is just drive fast through this left corner, braking in, driving out, all of that stuff. Just a simple task. Driving fast enough, in 30 seconds I got a new bike. That's a beautiful one. Street bike with optional exhaust upgrade. Nice. Finally, we have another test track on the list. Grand Valley section, but still better than another session on Touring Mini. Also, I have a chance to check out Honda CB400 SS, which is a small bike. Looks a bit old school. I don't know, I might even consider this bike a perfect one for cafe racing or something like that. This would be an interesting choice. So we have right now Grand Valley section, which is a different track. Could be difficult in some places, but despite those small errors, I had a chance to pass this challenge because luckily I liked Grand Valley East section and because I played Gran Turismo 3 in my teens and while I was a small brat, so I can actually memorize Grand Valley. Another street bike with optional exhaust upgrade is also here on the CB400SS. Another street bike to unlock is Yamaha SR400, another street bike with bigger engine but smaller gearbox ratio. So I can only drive 150 kilometers per hour, but I don't really care about that because Grand Valley East section is not only about this long straight, it's also about those tricky corners we have on this shorter version because I am not passing any hairpins right now. Rather strange, I might say, S-bends and tricky sharp corners like over here. Right now I'm having a little bit of problem with passing this opponent because he got away this time. However, this challenge is not the most difficult one. The most difficult ones would not even consider passing an opponent. Rather, it would be just a time trial or something like that. In less than a minute, I still managed to pass this challenge, so that's a great idea, a great thing to do. Because that's how I got another motorbike to my collection. Yamaha SR400 with optional exhaust upgrade, as it is a street bike. Terrific. Another test track and another motorbike, this time Yamaha FZR400, and the test takes place on tight Clubman Stage Route 5. Yes, another test track, this time a city track, which is even more difficult because this particular challenge took me a few tries until I finally managed to pass it. Mostly because you can cut any corners and none of that stuff that you have at Grand Valley. This is a city circuit. It's tight, have complex corners, and it's difficult. After a few tries, I managed to pass this challenge. In 36 seconds, I got a new motorbike. Great. Another fast bike to try out later for those street machine cups. And of course, my collection to check out later in arcade mode with that optional exhaust upgrade. Another test is a test drive of Suzuki GSX-R 400, again on Clubman Stage Road 5, which means simply another difficult challenge where I can't cut any corners. None of that stuff happens over here. It's all about sensible driving. You know, sensible driving also takes place while you are racing, so this particular challenge is also a great test of how you manage to pass difficult challenges on city circuit, because you know cities are very difficult when it comes to fast driving. Yet another motorbike, and that's a motorbike from the 80s, street bike with optional exhaust upgrade. Might be great to check it out. Another motorbike also from the 80s is Honda VFR 400R from 1989. Another challenge at Clubman State Road 5, city at night. That's perfect. Another difficult challenge to master my skills, which I lack because my driving style right now is not so good. Also, what I like is that this particular bike have a very long gearbox ratio, which is interesting. Something different than this Honda CB400 SS and Yamaha SR400. I guess in the 80s they did not bother about this stuff. Also, this motorbike have almost 60 horsepower. A street bike with an optional exhaust upgrade. Great. I might consider trying this out. Another street bike, again from the 80s, is Kawasaki GPZ 400R. Another fast bike that can hit up to 200 km per hour, and this challenge is a bit more difficult because my opponent is a bit far away from me, so it might take some time, more time, just to pass him. And also, this is again Clubman State Road 5, which means no cutting corners, difficult sections. Yeah, I managed to do it, but I can't say that this is an easy task. But I did it, and that's the most important thing right now. Another street bike in my collection with an optional exhaust upgrade. Another street bike from the 80s, and a beautiful one. So now we have a set of even more difficult challenges for basic license. This time I'm using a fast Honda street bike to pass an opponent on high-speed ring, which is a tricky circuit for motorbikes, especially because of that section I'm driving on right now. Also, this circuit is a very tricky one because I still remember how it was a pain in the ass when I was playing Gran Turismo 1. Not even Gran Turismo 2, but Gran Turismo 1. With those driving physics, whoa. That was an interesting one. Also, arcade mode, hard difficulty, high speed ring, the fastest Class A car. This challenge is a very interesting one because of this particular track. Because this is a fast challenge, it is also a difficult one because of those specific corners and hairpins. We have it here. But that's how I got another motorbike for my collection. Honda CB 750F from 1981, a street bike which have 70 horsepower with optional extras upgrade, even more. Not sure how much more, but who cares. Next motorbike is Suzuki GSX 1100S Katana, a very fast street bike. 240 kilometers is not a big problem for it, and also I can smoothly drive through this section. That's perfect. This challenge is also a tricky one because, again, my opponent is too far away from me. Too far away. That's an important thing to say. I can honestly try to get close to him on this section because this S-band is a very difficult one for AI opponents. But as you can see, I'm getting closer to the final corner, and that's when I finally pass this opponent. And I did it in over 1 minute. Okay, so I have a very fast, a very heavy street bike, but also very fast. Sonic Silver Metallic, and as it is another street bike, I have an optional extras upgrade to fit on this bike. Now we are moving on to much faster bikes. This time I have Kawasaki GPZ 900R, again a high-speed ring, which means we are hitting up for high speed. Well, what I like about this particular challenge is that, again, my opponent is too far away from me, but this bike is a fast one. I can say that it is a very heavy one, but I actually had a lot of fun while passing this challenge, and that's a very good thing. Because, you know, while you are driving those fast motorbikes, you can actually feel, maybe not 100% how it feels like in real life, because this is a video game. You obviously do not drive as fast and you are not as crazy in real life as in a video game. Unless, of course, you are from Eastern Europe and you have strange fantasies about having a fast machine with big engine. I mean, it happened in my neighborhood, but I don't care about that because it's individual choice. While I was talking gibberish, I got a chance to afford another motorbike, Kawasaki GPZ 900R, with an optional extras upgrade. That's just perfect. So now we are moving on to another set of motorbikes, again from the 80s, but this time I have Kawasaki Z1000 R1, which is a fast bike but also feels a bit lighter. Despite having only 5 gears and max speed of 220 km per hour, I can honestly say that this is a fun bike to drive. By its structure, I can honestly say it almost feels like driving a cross bike. Maybe it's not that tight, you know, small, but I mean, this is a nice bike to try out. And this particular challenge is also a simple one because I had a chance to pass an opponent before hitting the last corner on this track. In just 54 seconds, I afforded another street bike to my collection. And there it is, a typical lime green Kawasaki Z1000R1. This time it doesn't have an optional exhaust upgrade, but who cares. Now, again, we are going back to on-road mini, but this time because we have another scooter to afford, Yamaha T-Max, which is a very fast scooter, again equipped with 250cc engine, but this particular scooter can hit up to 150 km per hour, which is a very interesting stat. Also, this challenge took me only 22 seconds because I had a chance to pass an opponent on the first half of this track, but also because of the fact that this particular scooter is a very fast one. It is heavy, yes, it is heavy, but it is still much faster than on the Forza and even Yamaha Grand Majesty. Also, I have an optional exhaust upgrade, so this scooter can be even faster. Now it's another league. Again, we are going back to Grand Valley section. However, this time I have on the CBR 600, a Japanese version, which is a bit different than the European one, but it doesn't change the fact that this particular motorbike is fast. The bike is fast. This particular challenge on this bike, that's a very fast bike. I would honestly say this is as fast as some of the bikes I can see in my neighborhood often, because you know, some people like those adrenaline junkies, however a different type than me, but you know, that'll do. Also in 40 seconds I afforded a new street bike, much faster one, because this particular monster have over 120 horsepower thanks to its engine. Yeah, another street bike and a fast one. So the next bike I can afford in this set of challenges is Yamaha YZF R6. Again, a fast bike equipped with a 0.6 liter engine, but that means it's a fast one, because this particular motorbike also have somewhere around 120 horsepower, maybe even more. I haven't checked it properly. I don't honestly care about that as long as this bike is fast, because you have fast bikes, but also there are lighter bikes and heavier bikes. Like for example, you have a bigger engine like Suzuki with a 1.3 liter engine, Suzuki GSX with 1.3 liter engine, which weighs about 200 kilograms. So yeah, motorbikes that have 120 horsepower and only 160 kilograms of weight. Also, optional exhaust upgrade will make a lot of noise, but also it makes this bike fast. Another fast bike I can afford is my favorite one, Kawasaki Ninja. This is not as ZX10 or ZX12, but ZX6R is also a very fast street bike. I even had an idea to try out those motorbikes, but I don't have a chance to try them out now because I don't have a proper driving license for it. I was never a big fan of motorbikes, however those fast bikes were always interesting for me because of how fast they are, how you can really learn how to drive those motorbikes. As they are fast, you need to act quickly, all of that stuff. And of course, as this is a Kawasaki motorbike, I again have it with this lime green color because obviously this is a typical Kawasaki color. Some motorbikes only have this color. Another Suzuki GSX R600, so another very fast bike with 600cc engine. That's great. Again, 120 horsepower. And this challenge is again, I can't say it's very difficult, but it might take some time to learn this track. Luckily, I had a chance to memorize this course. So, at least here, this particular challenge was not such a big problem for me. 36 seconds, almost 36 seconds, and I passed this. That's perfect. So it looks like I have only 4 motorbikes left. And that's great because right now I have a huge collection of, I guess, almost 30 or even over 30 motorbikes out of 138, because this is an European version. We have possibly the fastest motorbike I can afford with basic or novice license. Sorry, my bad. Novice license, because this is Suzuki GSX R750, and that is a monster. 140 or even 150 horsepower. Obviously, I had a chance to see Suzuki GSX R600 and 750, but just like I said earlier, those motorbikes are very popular fast bikes, fast street bikes such as Suzuki GSX-R and Honda CBR are very popular in my neighborhood because, you know, they're fast street bikes. And as I said earlier, if you are an adrenaline junkie, you obviously know what I'm talking about. Also another optional exhaust upgrade, which will make a lot of noise and more power for this bike. Now we are moving on to Tsukuba Circuit, my favorite track because I have race modified scooter. Yamaha T-Max Racing Modify. This is probably one of the fastest scooters you might have a chance driving, because this particular machine can hit it to, I remember, 180 or even almost 200. Also, strangely enough, my opponent drove out of track but did not fail. Also, as this is a bike version, motorbike version of Tsukuba Circuit, we have the chicane. Well, this was a funny challenge. Race modified scooter that can drive almost 200 kilometers per hour. But yeah, it would be a very interesting vehicle to try out. We don't have exhaust upgrades, but as it is a race modified scooter or motorbike, we can select a number we wish to have displayed. So I'm hitting it with 42, as it is a signature of happiness, peace, and this is also a number I have on my another YouTube channel. Another motorbike, again race modified, is Yamaha R400, a bike from 2005. However, it looks a bit like Cafe Racer with this with its structure. How it looks like a small old style, old school bike. However, this race modified version is also a nice one because it looks great. and it's also a nice challenge because I'm driving on Suzuka Circuit East section, which means those particular corners, I can't say they are chicanes. This is just a strange slalom they have at Suzuka. Never really bothered myself with that because, well, that's how this track is difficult and can let you learn valuable lessons about driving fast and racing. Suzuka is the difficult circuit, maybe not as much as Fuji Speedway, but it is difficult nonetheless. Also, I got another street bike, or rather a racing bike this time, and it's also an interesting one because the LSR 400 race modified looks obviously like an old British calf racer. So again, I can hit it with 42, and that's another racing bike in my collection. The last challenge I have, however, is an interesting one because it's again at Tsukuba Circuit, and this is probably the only motorbike I have found yet in Tourist Trophy that have 125cc engine, and this is a pocket bike, Yamaha TZ125. This is a very fast pocket bike which weighs less than 100 kilograms. This particular bike is a small pocket bike with only 88, almost 90 kilograms of mass, which is a very interesting one. It's fast, it's light. I might actually consider buying this motorbike for myself. Unless this is only a race-only bike, then a bit sad. Not really, but still. Let's check it out. How fast can I drive? Because this is an equal battle to Yamaha bikes, TZ125, but I had a chance to pass the opponent. Not before I hit this line, but I still had a chance to win this battle. And that's perfect. So, those are all the challenges I had a chance to pass while having no license and having novice license. So that's all I have over here. I have very fast bikes, I also have a pocket bike, many scooters, and few old bikes from the 80s, which would be perfect for driving around my neighborhood, local cities, small cities around here and there. I'm gonna take a number 25, as this engine is TZ125, why not? So, that's all for today. Stay tuned for the next video and have a nice day.